Well, good evening and welcome to St. Louis Park and tonight's non-conference girls basketball. The St. Louis Park Orioles are hosting the Tri-Hawks from Trinity School at River Ridge, and you are in Oriole country. Hello everyone, I'm Mike Resnick along with John Fromm. Welcome, John.
Ray, it's great to be with you. It's been a cold spell for several weeks as the Orioles and a lot of the schools around the state have been saddled with 5 canceled days. We're happy to bring you into the warm confines of Oriole Fieldhouse tonight for the opener. And Peaches and Herb said it best back in 1979. You and I haven't been together for a while on the microphone, but it is reunited and it feels so good.
Yes, it does.
I'd prefer to be Herb, though, and you can be Peaches if that's okay.
Well, tonight the 2-10 Orioles will be hosting the 4-12 Tri-Hawks, and the Tri-Hawks come to us. We'll find out a little bit about the school. It's the population of about 205 students enrollment. That's a 9th through 12th grade. The school was built in 1987, and they're part of the 4A conference. So,
wow.
Just a little feedback there for you. For the Orioles, as you know, they're part of the 6AA division. Enrollment of 1,200, and the school was built in 1898. So the Orioles will be donning their black, orange, and white tonight, and you'll see the Tri-Hawks will be in their white with blue accents.
Well put. And I'm really excited to see the Orioles come back and bring the party back home to the Fieldhouse. I know we united the first game of the year, and then I attended one other game, and I know you've been a loyal season ticket holder as well, to be expected. But I know that the girls had a couple of wins recently, including taking a good pretty decent Columbia Heights team out for a victory. So excited to see the girls and see what we got tonight for Coach Senchen and the crew.
Yeah, we'll recap that here. We've got about 30 seconds to go before the national anthem and then the starting lineups. And John and I will try and break down the season a little bit and sit back and enjoy on a minus 14 degrees outside. It's a balmy 68 degrees here in St. Louis Park Gymnasium.
We're going to take a look at Patrick Buchanan, the skipper of the Tri-Hawk ship. Of course, Mike, I had a chance to visit with him, and we'll reflect on that momentarily as we step away.
Welcome to tonight's game against St. Louis Park High School and Trinity School at Rivers Ridge. At this time, we ask you to stand, remove your hats, and face the flag for the playing of our national anthem.
A very nice rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. And now we'll get ready for the starting lineups.
Yeah, really excited to be with you today, and we're going to alternate the lineups. Great to be back in the saddle as the Tri-Hawks got the rhythm. And there you see number 10 for them. I think that's one of their big guns, Mike. Hannah Lozelle, the 1,000-point scorer.
Yep. Hannah's one of the captains. And then you've got Mara Henderson.
Here comes Amy Schultz for the Orioles.
She's going out to greet Gracie Ennis.
Just a 9th grader for the Tri-Hawks.
Number 14 is Anna Neal, and she's being met by Allison Keith there. And now we've got number 15, is Anna Franz. So they've mixed it up a little bit here. She'll be met by forward Lauren Resnick, also a junior. And number 23 is Marcy Brilski.
One of the Brilski sisters. They'll come at you with Marcy as well as Maddie. A lot of youth out there for both teams. We talked so much the last previous years about the Orioles being so youthful with almost a totally junior-dominated lineup. And look at the rhythm. Look at the rhythm that Mara brings to the huddle out there. You got to love it to fire yourself up on a Tuesday night.
Mara and Audie are out there just getting the girls all up in a frenzy, and now they're going to come out. Interestingly enough, John, you'll notice the Orioles have gone to a new style of offense and defense. Over the last 3 games, they've gone to a platooning style of basketball where 5 girls will start. They'll play for about 3 minutes, and then 5 other girls will come in. What that does is that it keeps fresh legs in, and it also throws a little different defensive twist on as each set of 5 come in with a different defensive set. So you'll see they might both press, but it'll be a different type of press, or one will go man-to-man, one will go zone. So hopefully it's worked. The last 3 games they've gone 2-1, so it has worked, and we'll see how it works tonight. So you've got Abby Olson squaring off against I can't see, is that 33 or 23?
I believe that's
Marcy?
23, Marcy Brilski there.
Yes, it is 23. And here we go. It's tip-off. Orioles win the tip. And that's Henderson. Henderson over to Schultz. Schultz dribble drive. She kicks it to a corner. Oh, and throws it over Resnick's head. And that's our first turnover.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see the Orioles again with a couple of wins recently in the program. And when we had them the first game of the season, they had a great first half. In that first half against Matamidi, rotated a lot of girls through the system, and then the second half didn't go so well. But certainly a lot of talent to fall back on there. Nice job on the press that time. Good.
Oh, there you go. Resnick almost has the tie-up. And they kick it back out. That's number 15 is Anna. Anna Franz. She dribbles. She kicks it out. Almost was a travel on Ennis. 3-pointer lined up. Fake on the travel is called. So a good ball fake, but unfortunately that was Louiselle, and she dragged her pivot foot.
Yeah, as Mike did some great research before the game, and when you talked to Coach Buchanan, you found out that she's not only the leading scorer with their team as a 1,000-point scorer, but a great soccer and softball player as well for those Tri-Hawks.
Yeah, at a school, and there's Henderson on the drive, and the Orioles are up 2-0.
Nice job by Mara there.
Yeah, and speaking with Coach Buchanan, he mentioned that it is the school that only has 205 kids total. These kids have to play multi-sports.
Yeah, big advantage. Excellent ball movement around the perimeter that time.
Looks like it almost blocked, and that's Olson with the rebound.
And Neal had an opportunity to finish that time for the Tri-Hawks, but was unable to do so.
Henderson controls at the top. She finds Resnick. Resnick goes baseline, and no call. And now we've got a blocking call. So it should be Oriole ball underneath. And that foul was on number 23, I believe, right?
Yeah, and an unusual sequence there because you had an official standing right down on the P, right 2 feet from where Lauren was driving there, but that wasn't the official who didn't whistle.
Oh, and she finds Henderson cutting underneath in a beautiful basket. So Henderson from Resnick.
Nice way to start for the Orioles, and here's Lozelle again on the break as she's going to get some pressure there.
I like
nice job by Mara on
Henderson
the steal.
with the steal, and then she kicks it back to Allison Keith. Now here's Henderson looking up quickly. That's Resnick along the baseline. Oh, and she lost it.
I tell you, Lauren lost the handle that time, but Marcy Brilski kind of made some contact with her. A couple of substitutions is 35 and 22 in the game. Ayana Anderson and Gabby Stark now in the game for the Tri-Hawks.
Interestingly enough, so Gabby is the other senior captain, and she's also a soccer player and a track star. And now we're going to get a look at the new ones. She comes in and she pulls the trigger like Vinny the microwave. She tries to get heated up quickly, and that's out of bounds off the Orioles.
Love the reference to the 89 Pistons, and you're right. If you don't know who Vinny Johnson was, he could heat it up.
Uh-oh, now the ref is talking. Apparently, that's 35 as Anderson and Resnick were kind of going at it. And then no rebound, and now it's jump ball. A quick whistle, and that'll go right back to the Tri-Hawks.
I think that was Anderson, 35, who just entered the game with a nice tie-up down low. I believe that was Allison Keith she tied up with.
Anderson definitely brings some physicality to the game. She's not afraid to she's not backing down from this Oriole squad. The Lady Orioles are swarming all over. There's a travel again. So
yeah, nice swarming defense by the Orioles, and even though Buchanan's got to be happy with the ball movement on the exterior here, not much to show for it, and they don't have a lot of height and bulk inside, so they're going to have to really be a ball or a possession-oriented team that moves it from side to side and can hit from the outside.
Schultz getting pinched. Resnick. Oh, and a travel on Resnick. I don't think she realized how open she was.
She could have driven a semi right through that Mack truck, and that's unfortunately what happens sometimes when you have that big of a break here. So a little inbounds action here is Maddie Brilski going to throw it in to start things off to her partner Hannah Lizelle.
And there's Gabby dribbling it out of bounds. A good pressure by Mara Henderson.
I might be wrong, but I think that might be the third turnover Mara's already caused earlier in this game here.
You know, it's definitely a defensive battle right now. They're really challenging each other. Here comes Henderson. She's being rid by it's Gabby. Oh, and there's Olsen down low. Let's see if she can turn on Anderson. She goes up strong, and the basket is good.
Nice finish to push it to a 6-0 margin here at the 15:25 mark. Lizelle going to break pressure here and try to dump down low to Ennis.
And you can see it again. Oh, and there's go Mara, and just not enough space on the sideline. But again, excellent pressure by the Orioles. And now here's what we were talking about earlier in the broadcast: 5 in and 5 out. So now we've got Ederer. That's Elise Moore. You've got number 22 is Skylar Nagorski. Number 32 is Autumn Ballesteros. And number 24 is Addie Mae Perkins. She goes by AP.
Well, that's a great set of initials if you're a Minnesota Viking fan. Absolutely. I didn't get a chance to see more earlier in this season, so I'm interested to watch her down in the middle on the.
Oh, that's gonna be a foul on Caitlin Ederer, her first.
She's a younger player for the Orioles as well.
She's a freshman, and ever since they switched to the 5-on-5, she filled that number 10 spot. Tim was going about 9 deep, and then he went to this new style. Oh, and there's a basket. I didn't see. Is that number 10?
Yeah, that was Lizelle who drained one, the senior captain.
Lizelle.
So that's exciting for her as a 9th grader as well. So the Cup War definitely full of a lot of youth in Oriole country.
Yep. Interestingly enough, John, the combination of Elise Moore and Skylar Nagorski has worked pretty well, and that's going to be off of the Tri-Hawks. So Oriole ball underneath on the baseline. It's 6-2 in favor. Excuse me. Wow, I felt like Peter Brady there. 6-2 in favor of the Orioles, and we're at the 14:41 mark. Here is Ederer looking down low to Nagorski. Nagorski kicks it out. That's AP from 3.
Oh, she was squared up beautifully on that shot.
Caitlin tries to keep it alive, and it goes to the Tri-Hawks.
Nice position by Gabby Stark on the defensive rebound as she was being battled by Nagorski on the backside.
Well, there's a steal by Elise Moore, who slides into that open lane there.
Little one-on-one action with Audie as she goes right to the rack and finishes over Lozelle. So I tell you, not what Coach Buchanan fired up down there on the Tri-Hawk baseline. He had a bad turnover down here on his side, and then Audie just taking it to the rack with her 4'11" frame.
Here you see the play. Audie catches it at the timeline, and she goes all the way in. Really not contested by Louiselle, who I thought might give her a little more pressure there. So 8-2 here, 14-14. Left in the first half, and now you can see a shot of Tim Senchen discussing some opportunities for the Orioles. He has to be pleased with the defense so far, John.
Yeah, I think so, and that's interesting that he went to the 5-and-5 sequence with 2 different sets, and obviously they're scrimmaging full-time against each other as 2 groups during practices, so there's a lot of cohesiveness that's been formed the last several weeks with those 2 groups of 5, I assume, too.
They've changed a little bit, but but the nucleus has stayed pretty much the same. It's been 1 or 2 here and there, but you're right. I think they all know their spots or where they're supposed to be. And that's number 14 is Neal. She rips it through.
She really was swinging like she was a monkey trying to get a banana in the trees that time, and she came down nicely with it. There's Louiselle again.
And she's got Stark. That's a 3-pointer. No good. And let's see if why didn't she grab it? I was surprised that Elise should have grabbed that ball. She let it go, and now it's the Tri-Hawks, and then a push on Autumn Ballesteros.
Yeah, it looked like Moore thought for sure that was going to go out of bounds, but the Tri-Hawk player did a nice job contesting that and actually keeping the ball on their side. So a couple more changes here. It looks like the sisters are coming in here. The Brilskis, Marcy and Madeline Brilski, the sophomore twin towers for the Tri-Hawks.
It'll be interesting to see if they go to him right away. So here's Louiselle. Louiselle dribbles. She backs her down. A good look nice inside. Entry. And then Franz can't keep it going. Or Neal, excuse me. And that's Louiselle. And then Ederer with the rebound.
That didn't work out, but nice entry pass by Louiselle that time, and she tried to materialize something.
Autumn dribbles to the top of the key. Now she finds AP. AP squares over, and they swing it around. Back to AP. AP directing traffic.
I love to see that, like an air traffic controller. She's going to bring something into the runway here.
And now we've got Caitlin. Caitlin goes to Elise Moore. Elise quickly down to AP. AP looking for, they can't seem to find Skylar. Skylar's got at least 8 inches on that girl.
Yeah, but, you know, even with that said, though, Neil doing a nice job defensively, kind of facing up to her, and she did a nice job with the left hand to deny that entry pass.
Very good. Here comes Eder on the drive. Let's see if she takes it all the way. Nope, she picks up her dribble, back to Moore. Moore finds AP. AP was ready to pull the trigger, and she held back. We've got 5 for the Orioles getting set to come back in. And here goes Nagorski. Oh, she had AP cutting and AP giving up the baseline shot and deferring it out to Autumn, who reset. So, John, we're still at 8-2 in favor of the Lady Orioles with the 12.5 mark in the first half.
Good patience. Also good defensively. Possible opportunity to dish it to Skylar down low there, but Neil again defensively on the denial.
AP missing the long three-pointer.
Lewisell with some numbers. Oh, but she's going to kick it wide, and that is going to go out of bounds as she misses Brilski there.
Yep, and that was looking for Marcy Brilski, and she just couldn't get to it. So here we go, a fresh 5 back in for the Orioles. That's Resnick, Schultz, Henderson, Keith, and Olson. And Resnick will get it in. There's somewhat of a press, and the press is a little soft.
Yeah, just a little token.
And there's, coast to coast for Amy Schultz with the left hand. She misses. No rebound, but the Orioles will hold ball.
Great job contesting that time, as Abby really did a nice job contesting over Neil that time, and the Orioles were able to maintain possession with the ball.
There she, she had
nice
Henderson
switch
cut.
off the pick
there.
that time.
Nice into Olson. Olson goes up strong in the basket. So Olson from Resnick.
And a nice pick down low there, freed some things up for Abby that time.
Resnick's got 2 assists tonight. 11:55, 10-2 here now, and the Orioles are swarming. Oh, she picked the ball up way away from the basket, John.
Lewisell and trying to get it here, trying to work it around the exterior. Just nothing inside that they're able to find.
Oh, and that's going to be an over and back. Nobody touched it. So Stark missing the player at the top, and she was trying to find one of the Brilskis. That was Marcy Brilski, and she just couldn't hit her with a good clean pass. So Lauren Resnick's going to throw it in here at the midcourt range. There's a slight press here.
Yeah, just real token pressure from Trinity. We've seen them use 8-9 players so far. Oh,
the
nice
backdoor play. Oh, she finds Olson, and Olson goes up. Beautiful play.
Boy, that was. And I'll tell you what, there was not a thing Neil could do because she did not have the size to defend that, and she's going to draw her first personal of the game.
So Abby Olson is going to the line. Her friends call her Hollywood.
Any stories with that, or just the blonde hair you're thinking, or?
Yeah, the first one's good.
Okay, no comment. We don't have to get into much detail with that.
So Abby makes the first one, 11-2 in favor of the Orioles. She's lining it up for shot number 2. And that's good.
Nice deliberate stroke to very fundamentally sound how she releases that as well.
So the shoot. Oh, and there's a steal by Henderson who goes up and makes the basket.
I think that's her 5th already for Mara. Nice double team here. Good
Mara's
pressure.
Got 6 points already, and there's Resnick with the steal. She's looking to push it up. Finds that's Schultz down to Keith. Resnick over to Henderson. Now they're swinging it. There's Schultz looking, and a steal.
Nice play by Lewisell. They're able to get her hands up and cause that. She's going to stop here. Real good pressure by the Orioles, and another turnover.
Oh, nice. Let's see what they call it. They're going to get a foul. So Amy with the steal, and then a foul on. See if we can get a call on that.
There you see Marlon.
Number 10, that's Lewisell. Her first, team 3rd.
And Mike, I might be wrong, but I think that's already the 12th turnover of the half that the Orioles have caused. I'm having a hard time keeping track.
The Orioles definitely seem to have a quickness. Here's the keeper play.
Nice,
Allison Keith faking to Resnick and going in all by herself.
And no Resnick to the left side. Instead, she peels it around.
And now Keith gets a steal. Oh, and then it's out of bounds. And that'll be Tri-Hawk basketball. And here comes the fresh 5.
So it looks like, what is it, 2-3 minutes on, and then you get the fresh troops out there?
Yep. Well, there was a little discussion there with Coach Senshin and one of the Zebras, but not really sure what was said. So
I hope it wasn't any remark about his blue sweater vest. You don't want to go there if you're an official.
No, it's an Argyle. It's got the Argyle design. There's Autumn Ballesteros with the steal.
Oh, good
and
speed.
Autumn's coming hard. Now she holds it back. She thinks better. She's got AP at the top of the key. AP now thought better. And that's Caitlin Eder.
Just sticking with the man-to-man for the Tri-Hawks here.
Caitlin's open from 3. That's a long 3 from Caitlin. No good. And Nagorski tries it, and Autumn tries it. No good.
Defensively, nice job by Neal that time. I thought she had a little push in the back to Skylar that caused the Tri-Hawks to get the rebound there.
Yeah, I think she's going to be forced to play a little more physical. There's Addie Mae Perkins with the steal. And interestingly enough, John, the turnovers for both sides continue, but mostly on the Tri-Hawks. So that must be in a tribute to the defense. There's Autumn fakes, and then she goes up with it, and she misses, and rebound to the Hawks.
So if, in case you just tuned in here on Park 16, it is Orioles 16, Trinity 2. 13 turnovers the Orioles have caused so far. Not a good shooting day so far for Trinity Ridge here, but they
Skylar with the rebound, and then she throws it out of bounds. So
got another substitution. Anna Friends back in the game for the Hawks.
Yep, she's going in for Gabby Stark. So and for those of you at home, it's like I said, it's 14 below with a wind chill of about 20 below. But inside the gym is nice and warm, and there you see Addie Mae Perkins with the steal.
And Moore going to get that big scrum down front. It looks like a rugby match out there, and indeed, you got 5 bodies laying low.
Possession arrow should be with the Orioles, so you should see black ball out of bounds.
Yeah.
Orioles donning their black. These are new uniforms this year. They've gone with black with the orange and white accents.
I like the intimidation factor always to go with black. It's the Day of Death look. The Oakland Raiders.
The old Raiders. Oh, the beautiful give and go play. Nice bang play.
That's a beautiful sequence. And Skylar gets the assist.
Skylar.
Yeah, nice to see the 2 low post players working well together on the sequence there.
So
here's Liz Olson with the ball. Autumn just like a gnat on top of her. She's just harassing her.
Brilski out to Ennis. Ennis going down to Brilski again. Oh, that's tipped out by Eder. It'll stay on this end of the court. We want to thank Shakey's Pizza for taking care of John and I tonight with our pregame meal.
And make sure you stop by their location on Highway 12 for the bunch of lunch on occasion.
It's delicious. Here's Lewisell. She's hawk. She picked up her drill. Oh, and then Brilski, and she kind of stepped to the left and shot to the right, and Orioles can't seem to get the ball back at this point, and Lewisell goes in again. She's fearless.
Oh,
that's going to be
on Moore, I think that time, 53. The Moore going to get whistled. I think that's her first here at the 9:01 mark. We're not even halfway through the first. Well, halfway through the first half, and the black wave number 2 in for the Orioles. I like that. Wave 1, wave 2.
So here's wave 1, and they find that's number 11 is Ennis. Ennis dribbles right into traffic. And then she's stuck, and that's Schultz. Schultz with the steal. She's looking to push it up. She's got Resnick on the side, not looking there. Now she looks at Allison Keefe. Uh-oh. Olson picks it up. There was a little mess up there.
Yeah, still staying with the man-to-man here. Coach Buchanan not really quite sure what he's going to do defensively here. He wants to see that aggressive tone that they're playing.
Oh, there you go. A nice pass from Allison into, and Abby misses the bunny, and then the rebound goes off to the Tri-Hawks.
Yeah, nice rebound again for Neal for them.
The Orioles haven't missed many shots. Most of them have been right in the paint and dribble drives. Oh, there's a long pass. And that's number 15 is Franz. Oh, there's an over and back. Are they going to call it?
I think they're going to say no.
It was tipped.
Wow, Lauren going to probably corral that.
Resnick gets the steal, and then she kicks it out to Allison Keefe.
You'll have to stick with us, fans. Things are moving quickly. Here's Lauren. She's got the whole baseline wide open.
Oh, and that was a takedown.
It was. It was tripping 2 minutes. She would be in the penalty box if this was girls high school hockey.
I don't know. There must be.
There was a lot of action in that last 40 seconds. We had bodies everywhere, and you'll have to forgive us if we couldn't follow.
I'm not sure if it's Crisco or Butter on the ball, but boy, they are having some troubles. Mara brings it to the top. Now they're going to reset. Here's Resnick on the right side. Resnick power dribble. There she finds Henderson. One dribble into Olson. Olson gets hacked now. Now they're going to call it, and that's on number 14 is Anna Neal.
Yep. I think that's her second already on there, and she's probably their big interior player. She's contested a lot in the interior with Nagorski as well as Moore down there.
Yeah, that is her second foul, team 4th, and now Anderson coming back into the game. Anderson brings some physicality, as we discussed earlier.
Yeah, she's got a wide base, and she can.
Beautiful
entry pass.
Resnick into Olson.
The assist there, and Abby off the pick. Was it a pick at the top of the key?
It was a nice pick, and then she just rolls to the basket.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful seal-off play. And Lauren hit her at the right time, at the right spot, and here comes Lewisell, and a nice left-handed layup. She can't control it. There's Olson, and Olson's being harassed by Anderson.
It was 4-on-1 that time, and she was able to still hold the ball.
And Abby records her second rebound of the night. There's Resnick. Oh, she finds Olson again underneath, and Olson couldn't make it. and then it's off of Olsen.
In case you just tuned in here, just 7:17 remaining in the first half, and it's been a black and orange wave as you see Olsen finish off the nice entry pass off the inbounds play from Lauren Resnick. And Coach Senchen and his crew over there got to be pretty pleased with what they've seen so far.
Yeah, and for those, if we didn't mention it before, you can see it at the bottom of the screen. Orioles 20, Trinity, Trihawks 2, and 7:15. We want to remind you to stay tuned, folks, because in this crazy, wacky season, anything is possible. Talk a little bit about Coach Buchanan. Coach Buchanan, this is his first year as a head coach for the Trihawks. Last year, he was an assistant for Kennedy Girls Program, and prior to that, he was an assistant to the Kennedy Boys Program for 5 years.
Well, I'll tell you what, talking about Kennedy, the Orioles moving into, as you know, in that conference next year, they've got a great girls program, so he's got to have a good, strong coaching background, and obviously, irregardless of the score, you can see that he's got an intense disposition, and he stayed with the man-to-man the whole time, even though things have gotten out of hand. So it's going to be a tough go next year for the Orioles and all teams in the new conference with the Jags, and as well as Kennedy, Chanhassen, and Chaska. But Kennedy particularly is real good in girls basketball.
Yeah, no, you bring up a great point, and part of the other staff, he's got Coach Larry Brown who came with him, and he's got not the Larry Brown.
I was going to ask if he'd taken a severe pay cut, but I guess not.
And JT Magnus, and you've got Sarah Stahl.
Oh, so, I thought that was Stop. I was going to say a good name defensively.
It could be Stahl. It depends what part of the city you're from. So here we go. Trinity throwing the ball in, and this is Lewis L. She's bringing it up, and Hannah, the senior captain. She's dribbling, can't really find it, and she's pressured. Oh, and I think they're going to get Schultz, and that was a little bit of a ticky-tack foul. I thought she got the ball, but I think when Hannah fell over it, it looked like a fall.
Yeah, it was a little bit on the hand that time, and Louiselle, nice little hesitation move that time, and boy, she almost carried the ball that time when she pulled it back, too.
Yep.
Mike, did you mention, too, in their conference, they've got, Maranatha Christian Academy, West Lutheran. They're 2 and 3 in their conference, but they've really struggled out of their conference, and this is definitely a step up in competition for them as well.
Well, and it's interesting because one of the teams in there is Maranatha. They're averaging 88 points a game. They set 2 state high school records this year.
Wow.
One of which is I'm sorry, I was just distracted. A young man with his Minnesota Hustle t-shirt just came in and waved to me. So there's Anderson underneath. She misses her first, gets her own rebound, and then goes right back up with it, and that's Ayana Anderson.
Yep, she did a nice job on the offensive glass and rewarded with the 3rd and 4th points of the game for them.
Resnick over to Schultz. Schultz top of the key finds Henderson. Ooh, Henderson travels. So again, they're going. I think the Orioles are used to playing at a little bit quicker tempo, and I think some of these quick fakes that they needed to do in some of the earlier games, they don't need to make those tonight.
Right. And so, and especially to come from playing Benilde on Friday, who's a really competitive, strong-level team, and then we're here on Tuesday. I don't know if the girls practiced yesterday with the school.
They did.
So, you got to...
Oh, that's a block by Skylar Nagorski, and then out of bounds.
Beautiful by Skylar.
So Skylar, who had gone the whole season without any blocks, has had 2 in the last 2 games. So,
and that's somebody you got to feel good about putting a block on a 1,000-point score there in Louiselle.
Let's see. This is Stark trying to go on Caitlin. Caitlin's doing an excellent job keeping her at bay. Ooh, Stark keeps it alive. I like her blue top. She's got some nice blue Nike kicks.
Yeah, they're very color coordinated with the shoes. Well, the Orioles as well, too. You've got to love the colors.
And Elise Moore on the switch. And then you got AP at the top of the key, and she's guarding. That was Friends. And Skylar Nagorski with the big rebound.
Nice job not only grabbing the rebound, but having the wherewithal to stop and find some help to bring the ball up court.
So AP over to Elise. Oh, she was looking back door. It wasn't there. Here comes Audie Ballesteros. Audie back to Elise. Elise over to AP. AP looking for 3. Nope, she's going to bring it back. And now Moore. Orioles are being very patient. And then Autumn Ballesteros throws up 3, and that's no good.
Nice.
And the rebound goes out to Friends.
Yep, good defensive board by Friends on the weak side there. Ooh, Louiselle almost carried it that time. She's going to hand it off there.
Brilski, and a nice shot by, number 23 is Marcy Brilski.
Those Brilskis will come at you with their sophomore. A lot of youth on this team. Only 2 seniors for the Trihawks.
I like the fact that they're not afraid to shoot, John. That if they're going up strong, they're not giving. Oh, I thought there's a nice added pass, though. AP, she's long, and that's Skylar with the rebound.
Nice job by Audie. Going to redirect out there, get it to the top of the key where Allison going to set things off.
Oh, and more into Nagorski. That's the M&M combination. Oh, and Skylar gets blocked.
Yeah, Skylar blocked. Nice left-handed entry pass that time by Moore, though, up there. Nice way to use that left hand.
Friends comes in with the left, and that'll be off the Orioles. I didn't quite see what happened there. Did we tip it out, or did she?
Yeah, yes. And here's a sequence. And here's a left-handed entry pass, beautifully done, and then right to the right hand. She almost could have gone up with that immediately. She didn't even need to drop the dribble down that time.
Skylar was a little slow going up on that one. I think she probably could have freed herself. Inbounds pass. Oh, and Resnick
nice
with
tip.
the block, and then a travel.
Lauren beautifully jobbed. She swiped at that like a thief in a Target store, and she got plenty of hand on that ball.
Somebody call McGruff the crime dog.
Well, and I don't not to throw Target out because I know that kid's close to home with a certain Jonah Resnick working there now. But.
That's true. Jonah's going to go. Oh, and we understand that Paul's cousin works there.
4 minutes remaining in the first half.
Paul's looking for the discount. Oh, Allison Keith goes long, and then Resnick battles. Oh, and then how did she?
I love it. Lauren made some
bounds.
contact with the young lady, and I'll tell you, Friends was no match physically for Lauren, who spent a lot of time in the weight room. I've seen some of the images, and Friends.
Lauren is definitely bulked up in the off season.
Yep.
And an indoor. Oh, that's off of.
The foot
it was
there?
off the foot of Bryce Brilski. Thank you. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
23. It's Marcy, and she's been a little more active of the twins tonight.
Oh, nice entry
inside,
pass.
and Abby misses the bunny, and Allison Keith goes right back to. Oh, there, a beautiful play. So Abby misses the first one. Keith gets the rebound, and then she goes right back to Olsen with the bucket. And that, I believe, is 9-10 points for Olsen so far.
Boy, that's fantastic.
Oh, and Resnick's all over her again, and double dribble.
Brilski getting harassed a little
double
bit.
Dribble.
Yep. Lauren causing another turnover. She caused it down there. Well, and that's got to be the third hoop right off the inbound sequence down here. So good job setting the picks and as well as rolling off the screens that time and creating some space again.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch, and this is a game the Orioles, really have been looking forward to all season. So Schultz over to Resnick. Resnick fakes. They're still looking to pound it down inside. It's very apparent, even though they've thrown up a couple threes. Here's Olsen on the low block. Olsen one dribble. She kicks it to Schultz at the elbow, who takes a drive in, and she goes all the way in.
And there was plenty of hands and elbows that were interfering with Amy Schultz's line of vision, but she finishes like.
Nice to see Amy coming back strong. She's been sick earlier this week. There's a long shot. Box out. No, Keith couldn't get it. And then up and down, and they didn't call it.
Well,
and then Lewis Sell comes in. I thought she might have traveled. There's Resnick with the box out, and she gets the rebound.
We're under 3 minutes here.
Nice look inside to Keith. So Henderson to Keith.
Boy, nicely done that time, and they absolutely thought Mara was going to launch, and she didn't. Instead of launching, she found the open missile down low.
Yeah, it's very apparent now that the Orioles' size is really taken over, and there's a collision, and Mara just rips the ball through.
And I don't think just size, Mike, but take a look at Mara, who's basically a point guard, small shooting guard for the Orioles, and she is stronger probably than any player on their entire roster.
Yeah, you're right. I thought I saw somebody shooting the gap there. Resnick's going to come in, left-handed dribble. She goes up. No good.
35 on the block.
Is that Anderson?
I think that's Ayana who's just going to get saddled there. That might be her. No, I apologize.
3-5. It should be her first, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I did not have her in the
team fifth foul. We're at the 2-minute mark, 2:07, and Lauren Resnick's going to toe the charity stripe.
We'll come at you with a lot of phrases like that, so stick with us here on Park 16. There's a nice sequence there, as you see the nice entry pass by Mara on that one.
And Resnick curls one in.
Boy, she knows the iron there. She's thrown a lot of free throws up there over the years.
They call that shooter's touch, shooter's roll, I guess, the privileges.
Yeah, and she learned a lot about those bounce of the rims from a certain father who used to really create some magic on these courts around 30 years ago.
Lauren towing it up for number 2. She misses that one, and then Skylar's going to get over the back. So Lauren gets 1 of 2, and Skylar's going to be stripped with her first, and now that's Resnick will come out, and Autumn Ballesteros is in. So we're at the 2:06 mark. Now it's 2:05. So Orioles up 27-6 over the Tri-Hawks. Tri-Hawks visiting from the east side of town. That's Lewis Sell. Over to number 11 is Ennis. Ennis, number 31 is new in the game, and that's Rawway.
No relation to Rahway State
and
Prison.
Audie. Oh, I thought they could have got her for the foul. She went in with the forearm shiver there.
There's Rahway.
Here's Rahway, dribble
carried.
drive, and no good. Anderson goes in for it. And then Skyler, nope, nobody wants it. And there's a jump ball, and that should stay here with the Tri-Hawks.
You want it, I got it, you take it.
Somebody grabbed the ball.
There, you take a look there. Yeah, just a really fun night. And, for these girls, too, they've got their last day of finals tomorrow. It's been a crazy week.
Yeah, their last day of finals was supposed to be last week, I think.
Last
and
Thursday, right?
They keep extending it with these cold days. John, when we were in school, we walked uphill both ways in the freezing cold. We didn't have shoes, and there's a foul.
Well, we didn't, and shoes were something that you really had to beg for at the corner, and a lot of times I'd stand up at that Tom Thumb and just have my hand out, try to see what I could get.
For those of you that might have recognized me hanging out at Saul's Superette. So we've got, that goes against number 22 is Nagorski, her second foul.
And Lewis Sal. Nice form, and she's going to get it. I believe that's her first point of the game, though. Takes them up to 7. Sevens are wild, 27-7.
27-7. She's going to take another one. Oh, good. I like the good backsman, and then Nagorski comes up with the rebound. So Skyler, after getting that foul, records her 4th rebound of the night, and now we've got Caitlin Ederer yo-yoing at the top. Audie finds AP. AP tries to find Elise down low. She turns it over, and now it'll be Tri-Hawk basketball. That's Friends. Friends kicks it back out to Lewis L. Lewis L. over to Rahway.
Yeah, Friends with a little stop and go there. Back to Friends.
And that's AP. All Day Perkins gets the rebound. That's her first one of the night.
Every time you say Friends, I think of where I was last night. I went to the Jason Alexander comedy show, and of course, Eaton made his career on Friends, the TV show.
You'll have to give us a recap of that. I'm sure you had a blast.
Right? I apologize. What am I saying? Yes, it was an excellent show. He really enjoyed flying in yesterday morning and enjoyed the weather as he came in from the airport. So.
Paul in the truck just caught us. That was not Friends, it was Seinfeld.
Yeah, what am I saying, Paul? Way to catch me on that.
However, 2 of the finer shows in TV history. And now we've got Friends with that left hand. She's on the left side favoring that. Here's Lewis. Oh, and Audie gets the poke check. And then she goes to the floor. And then she kicks it over. Oh, and they had Caitlin was wide open down here.
And we're going to have a little momentary stop. Lewis L not happy with that whistle there. She's going to get saddled with a personal this time.
So Autumn with the steal and then the scrum.
So just 26 seconds remaining. And if you just joined us, it's been all orange and black attack. Be it the first unit or the second unit, it's been a wave that's just taken apart the Trinity River Ridge.
20 seconds left on 17 seconds. That's Caitlin holding the ball. They're looking for one last shot. Now Elise Moore's open underneath. They find her on the curl. Oh, and she can't finish it. Excellent play, though. It's too bad. Elise was wide open. I don't know if she expected to be so open. Here's 5 seconds on the clock. 27-7. Lewis L kicks it out. That's a Rahway in the corner. Oh, and they just held her.
Yeah, nothing.
Go ahead, John.
No, I was just going to say nothing there, and 20-point margin after one, and Mr. Buchanan going to take his girls to the locker room and just try to absorb some things. And for Coach Senshin, a really balanced attack. I think really the story of the game, as you mentioned, the difference in strength between the Oriole players at Trinity River Ridge, and just the tremendous quantity of turnovers that the Orioles not only caused, but also that they just harassed the Trinity River Ridge guards as well as forwards.
Yeah, looking at the stats, John, the Orioles, for the shots that they took, they only missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They missed 7 shots. They made 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, I take that. And then from three-point land, they really struggled. They were 0 for 6. So overall shooting was decent, but definitely when we got it down inside, we were converting. Also looking at our turnovers, the Orioles have been averaging about 26 turnovers a game. Right now we had 9 in the first half, so they're way ahead of pace. A couple of those turnovers were just I think the girls were excited. They found themselves more open than they were, and they were some traveling calls. It wasn't necessarily bad passes, where in the past we were hit with more of the errant passes. Also looking at some of the other stats, key stats, we had 11 steals for the Orioles in the first half, 6 assists, and 11 rebounds. So again, those assists really is probably a little more than what they're averaging for a game total. So finding the open person and then the open person converting is also important.
Well, great work on the stats as well. We should mention Mike does not have anybody to help him here. He's just somebody that can not only walk the walk and talk the talk, but he can handle the statistics at the same part. I've made several mistakes in the first half recording statistics, and I don't have complete numbers for Trinity River Ridge, but I do know who scored. Hey, let's talk a little bit about what's going on relating to some of the other park teams, though, too, as well as the girls program. And what upcoming schedules with all these cancellations. I know I've had a couple people text and email me just, how do I find out what the updated schedules are for different teams? And Paulie, we don't normally throw this out, but nsconference.org, nsconference.org is the conference website. When you go on that website, and I know Mike and Maya have been on there a lot, and then you click on St. Louis Park, or you click on the calendar, you can find out between all the activities what's going on, be it updates on the band concerts, be it updates on the play tryouts, JV game schedules, new bus times, etc. So just want to encourage anybody watching the game, any of the parents, to go to that site. And obviously you can call the high school or go to the gopark.org site as well. But I found last night I was at a dugout club meeting, and we had all kinds of questions about rescheduled games and when we could have events, and we just pulled that out, and it helped enormously, and hopefully they'll be able to fill in some of the makeup events as well.
Well, John, that's great information. Also, some timely information, as even the Lady Orioles had to reschedule a game this week. They had a Thursday game scheduled with Irondale, and that had to be moved up to Wednesday night. So for those of you looking for something to do tomorrow night, the Orioles are going into New Brighton to face the Irondale Knights. And then they're coming right back on Saturday to play the Blake Bears, a team that they just started playing over the past couple of years, and they've been alternating sites, and so this year they're coming to the play at the house that Lefty Wright built.
Right. Well, and you mentioned it was a good win against Blake last year too, and that Saturday game's going to be a matinee here with, I think it looks like the JV game did get canceled, but varsity's scheduled still at noon.
Is it noon
maybe that did get changed,
okay.
And then if you want, you can have a double feature of Oriole girls athletic programs, as at 3 o'clock on Saturday, the girls hockey team plays their last regular season game of the season. They play up in Spring Lake Park. You can find out all that anyway on the conference website. A couple of hockey games Thursday and Friday for boys. I know I'm doing the Friday night game I'm calling it the game the Orioles have to win of the millennium. We're playing Achiever Academy, which is this new program that is basically like a Shattuck. Have you heard about this?
No, I haven't heard of this one, but I know Shattuck.
Okay, well, here's what it is. It's basically, and Paul and I were talking about this, it's basically you don't go to school anymore. It's a charter school, but you spend 4 to 5 hours a day playing hockey during the school day. And then you take online classes, all of them are online classes, and then they're playing with high school league rules, so they got guys from all over.
So it really becomes an all-star team.
It's like an AAU hockey team, basically, that's playing during the regular season.
And where do you draw the line? I mean, are they in a conference? Are they independent?
No, they're independent, and this is only their second year as a school. And last year they were playing down at the EGA. They would literally go to school. They would go to the hockey rink at 8 in the morning, practice till like 1 o'clock.
So, John, who's going to want to play against a team like that? I mean, obviously, if you're going to be the best, you have to beat the best.
Yeah.
But I know that there's been a lot of talk, and they're trying to appeal the whole Benilde thing as part of being part of this West Metro Conference next year, and
right.
even staying in the North Suburban this year.
Right.
And it's when you're drawing from kids from all over, and you really don't have the same rules and going against you, it really becomes a challenge for some of these schools to compete. And whether you're from Benilde or not, I think you have to come to the realization that that just becomes, you're not really playing on an equal playing field.
Yeah, it's real interesting. You mentioned the whole thing with the new conference that Orioles are going in next year. Of course, Cooper, St. Louis Park, we're going to go initially with Jefferson, Kennedy, Chaska, Chanhassen, the 6 of them, and then Benilde. They did not want Benilde to enter. The same thing happened with St. Thomas Academy. No one wanted to stay with St. Thomas Academy because they had won 5 of the last 6 Class A hockey boys tournaments.
Sure.
They had won all kinds of section titles for other sports. It's a tough thing to go with the private schools, and I'm not quite sure that the Achiever thing is such a new concept nationally, because it's basically taking a concept of because Minnesota has charter schools,
right,
and rendering that. And
so then do you put them up against, maybe you put them in a Lake Conference, you put like Benilde and an Achiever school in with the Minnetonkas, the Eden Prairies, the Wayzatas, who am I leaving out of there? Minnetonka, Hopkins, and so if you're going to put them against the schools that have the bigger enrollment, that can have the bigger draw, and maybe that's one way to make it a little more equitable, if you will.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. The Orioles play. Orioles boys hockey team is home Thursday against Cooper, and then has to play right away on Friday. So I know they were thrilled to be able to get the game in tonight, because if they would have lost tonight, they lost 2 other games with the weather. And they only have 2 weeks left in the season. I think they would have had to play 7 games in 15 days, which is hard with weekends.
John, interestingly enough, you and I have seen some, starting with softball and baseball last year, the delay in the season, and now this year with all of the cancellations, it's been something. Well, we got 3 minutes before game. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll see you for second half action here in St. Louis Park.
Stick with us here on 16.
You always made sure I brushed my teeth.
You told me that smart was cool.
You always told me to dream big.
To all of those parents who took the time to make raising their children their most important job, we'd like to say,
thank you.
Thank you.
From the bottom of my heart, thanks, Mom and Dad.
This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to St. Louis Park Girls Basketball. And you are in Oriole country. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike Resnick. What's that? Oh, sorry. Thought we had a little confusion here and some technical difficulties. So Mike Resnick along with John Fromm, 18 minutes back on the clock. Second half action here in St. Louis Park on a chilly night. Orioles up 27-7 over the Trinity Tri-Hawks.
Lauren Resnick going to start things off to inbound here on this Tuesday night. And we're going to, Paulie, at the next break, maybe we'll put up the graphic for if you do want to get a copy of this game today. Oh, that one slipped off Mara's hand.
Mara looked away and went right through her hand. So,
little stop and go action. Back, the starters back in for, back in for the Tri-Hawks. This is Brilski. Marcy going to throw that ball in this time.
Yep, Louisel,
the leading scorer. There's Brilski going to split the double team.
Oh, and
nice.
a block.
Facial.
Wow, nice look by, and then Schultz is going down quickly to Resnick. Resnick into the midcourt, and she finds Henderson, who's going to go in strong. She goes up, and she gets blocked, gets her own rebound, and gets a basket.
Yeah, nice job by Mara again that time, and a nice job momentarily by Brilski, able to get a hand on that, but Mara's strength and size too much. Nice double team here.
Yep.
Another steal by
now
Mara.
She's pushing it up. Mara gets the steal. Here's Schultz with the left hand. Oh, she misses. Resnick battles, and then it's out of bounds. It'll stay here with the Orioles.
Yeah, that's got to be 7 for Mara, let alone how many team steals you have as well. And Lauren
Mara's got 3 steals already for the night. Here's Resnick looking in. She's got Olsen. Let's see if she goes in strong. 2 dribbles. And no good. Oh, it just pops in and out.
That would have been an amazing finish because she had literally no arc on that shot, and it almost still went in. She almost dropped it in the can.
Yeah, I think, John, if she would have gone straight up, she has the size advantage. I don't know that she needed to dribble.
Yeah, right. That's one thing that's difficult when you're playing down to a level of competition where they're maybe used to being contested a lot more with bigger girls and whatnot, and they're used to faking and dribbling before they go up, etc., head faking. They don't need to do that as much tonight. So
Orioles tip it out of bounds, and this will be substitution now. That's Stark coming in.
No relation to Tony Stark from the different movies you might have seen with the Iron Man sequence.
There you go.
And the Raw way isn't any relation.
Oh, and there's the ball goes right through Innes's hands, and Resnick goes over into the bleachers and pulls that out. So Resnick going inbound. Here comes a full court press now, man-to-man press. And Resnick gets it into Henderson. Henderson looking to brings it over the timeline, kicks it to Resnick. Resnick quickly passes it into Olsen. What a beautiful play.
Beautiful entry pass. She received that and pushed it in her right hand, and just one bounce pass down to the low block, and there was the finish. So nicely done again.
So 4 assists now for Resnick, who continues to show why she's one of the best passers on the team.
Nice board again, that time by Neal.
Stark. And a 3-pointer from Stark. Beautiful.
Gabby with the finish, the senior soccer player. gets the trifecta.
Really did not show. She wasn't fazed by them giving up the last basket. Here comes Allison Keith. Oh, and she throws it out of bounds, and that's actually, it was tipped by number 15, his Friends.
We've got Stark, Brilski. 31 is Mary Rawway. Of course, that's a famous prison in upstate New York, Rawway State Prison.
Let's hope she doesn't have any familiarity with that. Here's Keith on the right wing. She's looking. Now she's driving in. Takes it all the way, and no good. Olsen goes over the back, but they're not going to call it. She's battling, and there's a jump ball, and that should go to the Tri-Hawks.
Olsen had such long arms. Even though she did go over the back, she didn't have to make any contact. That was amazing.
It looks like Abby might have gotten a little pop on the face there. She was holding her lip there. And there you saw the replay of Olsen from Resnick. So that was a nice finish and a good set there. 31-10 now in favor of the Orioles at the 16-minute mark. And this is Lewis L. She dribble drives in, and now we've got a fresh set of 5, you'll notice, for the Orioles. This is the group number 2, and I don't even want to call it 2.
Yeah.
It's A and B or
not even
black
A or
and
B.
orange. Or
yeah, I think it's got to be the black and the orange. And maybe you let Audie pick because she's a little undersized, and let her choose what color she wants to be.
Oh, and Autumn couldn't hang on. It's going to go out of bounds in favor of the Tri-Hawks. So,
I want to see Audie win one of the games. I read something that one of her goals is to be able to dunk during a game, and I don't know if she's been working on it. I know it's at 4'11", but she's quite a good athlete out there with. And several of the girls play soccer. A lot of them play softball for the program. Oh, nice move that time by Friends.
So a quick substitution. That was Abby Olsen now in for Skylar Nagorski, and then Autumn. Oh, she didn't box out, and rolling around on the floor. It comes out to Friends. Friends over to Lewis L. And then a long shot by Stark. Oh, she almost made her second 3, and then that's going to be Moore. Moore gave her quite an effort there.
Yeah, and Mike, where again, I apologize, I'm not familiar with Trinity School at River Ridge like you are after doing the research you did.
I don't have
what city are they? Are they in the East Metro?
It's in between Egan and South St. Paul. I want to say right on 94.
Across Mendota Heights.
Across the highway from it's across the highway from St. Thomas Boys Academy, I believe.
Well, that's a nice area over there. Yeah.
And now we've got a full substitution. The other 4 of Abby's group is now in. Resnick, Schultz, Henderson, and Keith. And Olsen gets the rebound. She hangs on.
Nice job by Abby to get some position. She kicks it over to Henderson.
Now they're going up quickly. That's Resnick. She goes on the drive, and she misses. And, somebody's out of bounds. Are they going to call a foul?
I think they might call a force out that time. I'm not sure on Abby or not, but it looks like River Ridge is going to hang on to the ball. I don't think they whistled a foul.
And she must have just stepped out of bounds on that. Here's Resnick looking for the cutter. Can't find Olsen. There she goes to Allison Keith, who kicked. Oh, no, she's going to hang on. I thought she was going to kick it back to the corner. Oh, Mara had Amy cutting down the line. It looked really nice. Here comes Resnick over to Keith. Keith finds Schultz. Schultz now looking. She's surveying.
Nicely done that time. Get a flash high-low a little bit there. Top of the key. Mara sweeps off.
And Henderson. The ball got tipped, but good patience. Oh, and Resnick goes down low to Olsen. Olsen trying to hang on, and it's jump ball in favor of the Orioles. Yeah. So Abby's having a little bit of more of a challenge now, hanging on to the ball. It's she's got position.
And again, to start the sequence, Lauren almost found her to start the whole sequence again with another inbound pass off the.
Here comes Mara driving the baseline with the left hand, and she misses. And then I think they're going to get a foul.
Neil's done a nice job, even though she's a little undersized there with her white bandana. She's really done the best she can to contest everything and be physical. And she's only a sophomore for the River Ridgers.
And I don't think she sat out very much. I think they've tried to make a couple substitutions. I thought Anderson might have made the difference, but Anderson had a couple fouls, and then and they went right back to Neil.
Oh, another nice double team with Abby and Lauren in the corner.
Oh, and they're going to get a foul on Olsen, I think. Let's see if they get her for the reach.
And I tell you, even in a lot of conference games when Lauren and Abby might pin a girl down on the baseline like that and get their hands right up on a double team, they're not going to have that large of a height advantage as they will, but they just physically have such an advantage.
Yeah, they really held nice position. Here we go. Oh, Lewis Sell comes in on the drive, and then they're going to call a foul, and that's either on Keith or Olsen. Let's see who they get on that one. I missed it. Did you see? Was it 21? 21 is Keith.
It is. Oh, yeah. Allison leaned in a little bit. Nice job as well by Ben on the camera. And I apologize for the other name of our camera person today, Laura. Really some yeoman's work with the two-man crew today, Lauren. We couldn't have Missy today, but it's good to have the it's good to have the A- team available.
Lauren, I think, is a 2006 St. Louis Park grad, so good to have her back here with the broadcast.
Good follow that time, and a couple of charity tosses that time by Luzell.
Oh, and Amy had Lauren underneath cutting. Resnick tries to go, just too much. And there was a good, and then Olsen slides in for the steal, but then I think it's off her foot. Oh, it was a good hustle by Abby. So Amy made a nice recognition with the cutting Resnick.
Yeah.
Lauren was just too excited. I think she shot it on the way up, and with her strength, she just had a little bit too much oomph on it. So here's Lewis Sell coming in. She picks up her dribble at midcourt, which you never want to do. His Stark being hawked. The Orioles are doing a nice job.
By Amy there.
Yep, 7 of the 10 players have fouls for the Orioles, but nobody has more than 2. Oh, and a nice putback. Was that Friends?
15 Friends, yeah.
Nice.
Good work for her. Her second hoop of the day. She's got 4. Yeah. Seinfeld, excuse me.
So we've got Henderson. Henderson finds Resnick. Resnick's right back to Henderson, who wanted 3. Now they're being very patient. And it's a 1-2, or a loose 2-3. It's kind of hard to tell what they're trying to. Oh, and a steal. Olsen loses it.
Luzell, nice
and here
job.
comes Lewis-Ell, and she's going right into Henderson, and she misses the shot. Nobody boxes out. And that's Friends again.
Yeah, her third hoop that time. I'll tell you, even though it's not going to get recorded in the box score, nice job by Mara sliding over to her right before Lewis-Ell went up for the shot because it caused her to miss it, even though they did get the rebound.
Yep. So the gap is closed now. It's 16-31, and you got Keith at the short block there.
Still an aggressive.
She's on the baseline. She's going to dribble. She kicks it over to Henderson. Henderson dribbles right into 2, and she misses.
And there's Friends again.
You know, the Orioles are not taking bad shots. They're just not getting them to fall.
Yeah.
And there's out of bounds off of Olsen. I think tipped it out of bounds, and that was Innes trying to drive the base.
Yeah, and River Ridge, to their credit and Coach Buchanan's credit, they haven't slowed down their aggressive tone. They're still really mentally in the game as well, and that's not easy, as you know, when you're down by 20 at half and it's 27-7. But tip your hat to them for continuing to battle.
Yep. So Lauren Resnick gets her hand in on it, so it goes right back to the Tri-Hawks.
Oh, Ennis splits the double team nicely.
The double. She goes up strong. Wow, that was a nice play by Ennis, and now it's 31-18.
Yeah, they've really had a nice little run here.
The Orioles, I think they've been settling for jump shots where before those power layups were working so well. Here comes Resnick. She's looking to kick it back. Oh, nice. Finds Amy on the elbow with a quick bounce pass into Olsen, who forces her way in. And they're going to call a block. Nope.
They're going to wave it
off. Basket's good.
Wait a minute. Why would the basket be good if you wave?
He's calling it on the floor.
Oh, okay.
Here's the replay on it. So Resnick gets double team, finds
nice extra
Schultz.
Pass there.
Look at that. Beautiful. Nobody was dribbling. They just moved the ball nicely. So waved the basket. And Resnick looking about. Nice finds Abby again, and Abby Olsen.
That's the 4th time of the game Lauren and Abby have combined on that out-of-bounds play. So if you're an Irondale coach here tonight, you're going to sit here and scout that play and make sure you're ready tomorrow.
There you go.
Or a Blake Bears coach.
Resnick now has 5 assists on the game, and I think Abby Olsen has been the beneficiary of most of those assists.
Yeah.
So here's Lewis-Ell. She's getting pinched. Oh, Henderson just misses it. Good hustle by Mara.
Friends, being harassed.
Mara again. And Mara tips it off. They call her Mar, and she's showing her skills here.
That almost went in the garbage can, too. That would have been a really unusual situation. You don't often see a big 90-gallon drum right down by the court.
Yep. Interestingly enough, John, Mara, in their free time, she enjoys some needlework. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, maybe she'll.
Could she make an Oriole like a throw blanket or something of that nature?
I wouldn't mind a little throw.
Well, I mean, I know I'm hot during the. Well, I don't mean physically hot, but I mean I'm literally hot right now. But maybe some other time.
So now we've got this is Anderson now in for Neal. Neal's going to get a well-deserved break. We're at the 11:46 mark. Orioles up 33-18. Lauren gets stripped by Lewis-Ell, and then they're going to call Lauren for a blocking foul.
It was just a quick right hand by Lewis-Ell. If we go to the replay on that, as Lauren, nicely had an angle on the pass that time, but give credit to the senior that time.
Lauren kind of telegraphed that one. She was looking left the whole way, and the play never developed on that side. And you just got to be a little quicker on that. So now we've got Stark coming in, and she's coming in for number 15, I believe, Friends.
Yep, Tony Stark into the game for.
Brilski's now in.
Tony Stark. Thank you.
And
sorry.
This is
Ayanna Anderson.
Marcy Brilski. Oh, and too high of a pass and good pressure. Are they going to call it off Resnick? Yeah. Lauren got a tip.
Yep. Just a slight tip, 11:26 here if you just joined us here. Tuesday night, January 28th. No school today, but the Orioles are able to play some of their games. And
that's going to be on Olsen. She didn't
have the angle.
No.
She wasn't able to pinch her off on the baseline that time. Louiselle with some speed. Second on her.
That'll be second on Abby. And, John, the fouls now are 6-1 in favor of the Tri-Hawks.
Yeah.
11:24 left, and here's Gabby Stark. She swings it over to Louiselle. Louiselle dribbles into 4, and she goes up. No, and then Olsen, and that's going to be over the back of number 35. Oh no, they're calling it on Innes.
Oh, I thought it was on Anderson. But again, nice piece of work that time by Louiselle, splitting the double team and able to, she missed the 8-footer. But hey, since we got a quick break in the action, I know this is really an important day for a lot of the St. Louis Park girls basketball friends and a lot of friends of the St. Louis Park High School overall. Mike, why don't you talk a little bit about what today is in terms of Memory Day for?
Yeah, today is would have been Joel Cook's birthday, and I believe he would have been 51. And 51-52, I could be off by 1 year, but Joel had a big impact in St. Louis Park. He had 2 boys that attended Park. You might remember Alex Cook. He was over 1,000-point club for the boys basketball team here, and Charlie was a basketball player, but a very good football player. And Joel coached quite a few girls here in Park, and really got a lot of these girls interested and to continue in basketball.
Yeah.
As I look down the bench, some of the girls he coached were Abby Olson, Lauren Resnick, Amy Schultz, Caitlin Ederer. He coached Addie Mae Perkins, Skylar Nagorski. And the list just goes on and on. Carly Donald, a lot of close friends, and Joel was a friend of the program and a friend to a lot of people, and really a lot of people called him Mr. St. Louis Park.
He was always wearing his orange and black, and I know we'll get back to the action momentarily. I was just going to say, your family was with him on that last day, and what a great memory. And I know Charlie's off in college. He just graduated in June, and so just a little shout out if anybody's watching, and he'll always be a big part of their memory, as will Carly Christensen, who the girls had to deal with last year. It was a tough year the last 2 years with the girls, let alone what happened with the coach leaving before Ascension came in, and they've dealt with a ton of adversity. Yeah, they really have, and I know tonight after the game they're going to have a little celebration for Joel, and good, and so that'll be a nice memory for the girls. And then here you see Abby Olson, who's battling at the elbow, and boy, she took a lot of pressure there. Here's Allison Keith on the baseline. Allison tries to hang on, and they're going to get a jump ball, and that's going to go back to the Tri-Hawks. Yeah, that'll be a nice memory afterwards, and a nice that you could make this game on a day that means something to the ladies as well as a lot of the people in the program. So that's a real shout out to the Cook family and his legacy. Yeah, so bringing it back, it's 10.5 minutes left in the game. Orioles 33, the Tri-Hawks 18. And, we're going to get a travel on Anderson. Boy, too bad for Anderson and the Tri-Hawks, because Louiselle had given her a nice left-handed entry bounce pass, and she had a little angle to go by the Oriole defender, but she forgot to dribble the biscuit. Yeah, you can tell that Hannah's really giving it all. Oh, and then look at that quick pass down to Olson, and then she kicks it right back to Henderson, and she misses the 3, and no rebound there. So Amara had just a little bit too much. I think she was so excited that she was open. She was so wide open, yeah. And now we've got the new 5 getting set to come in. And then Henderson comes up with the rebound. Yeah, Ennis really set herself well, but she missed that by quite a few feet. So now she's waiting. She finds Resnick. Oh, and an inside pass. Olson can't hang on. And they're going to call a jump. It should stay with the Orioles. Oh, a timeout. How did he get a timeout when no one had? Lauren really loves distributing the rock. I've been able to see that for several years, but she and Abby really seem to have a special bond this game, and maybe that's something that's materialized with the groupings of these two groups, but she looked for her again that time. Yeah, I think Lauren at this point is leading the team in assists, and part of that is because she's been able to find girls underneath, and some girls are comfortable with that inlet pass, and some are not, and it's as you can see with that last play, if Abby can just step to the ball, I think she can seal off that player, and then she's got another layup there. But, they've been working really well. Abby's been on a nice little stretch here with some points. I think Abby had 15 points the last game, and
like I said, it's all about having faith in your teammates and continuing to go to them. And it shouldn't matter the number on the jersey, just the color of the jersey, John.
Well, and and looking at the stat package, it looks like 9 Orioles have 30 or more points on the season already, and you've got a good distribution of the rebounds as well, too. So, excellent.
Oh, wow. And I think they're going to get Caitlin on the box
Yeah,
out.
I tell you what, Kurt Giles would have been envious of that hip check from his North Star days because she really leaned back and got a lot of hip on that. So good work that time.
Let's see it underneath.
Let's see if we can see her use that or use her backside. Oh, we missed it.
Yeah,
I don't know if we have another
AP.
camera, but she's kind of pushing on the backside.
So Caitlin didn't let her come down. Oh, and we're in the bonus now. So 1-1, and this is number 11, and that's Innes.
Yeah, still 9.5 remaining in the second half. So they're
She
already
goes high
in
off
the
the board.
1-1.
And then Nagorski gets the rebound. She kicks it to Moore. Moore quickly finds Audie. Oh, and Audie with a little step over.
Oh, nice.
So
nice.
Autumn Ballesteros, she's got 4 points on the night. And that was a 5th rebound for Skylar Nagorski. So here comes Louiselle. Louiselle dribbles to the corner. Oh, I thought she was going to pick it up. She finds Stark. They're the 2 senior captains working together. Stark, now she's in trouble. Oh, quickly finds Ennis. And this is Rawway. Oh, that's tipped. And Autumn tips it. And Autumn, almost had the steal. And here comes Louiselle finding her way to the basket. Beautiful layup.
Yeah, she's really trying to do a lot of it on her own. And unfortunately, she needs to for the River Ridge Hawks. But good finish that time by Louiselle.
Boy, I'd like to see her on a team where she had a really top-notch center and a forward, and maybe it would take a little bit of pressure off her for not having to do so much. Yeah. So 35-20, gap has been closed to 15 points, 8:42 left in the second half, and we've got the orange team is in for the Orioles. And that's going to be a charge.
Yeah, nice slide over by Moore to take that charge. Beautifully done.
It looked like Ennis just made up her mind she was going in, and she just didn't care. She was going hard. And
there's more on the last sequence of the left-handed distribution to Audie, and Audie, she made it. She might have taken a few steps.
Yeah.
Maybe a travel, maybe not. It wasn't whistled. So.
Well, her bags were packed, and I'm not sure she was heading back down to Apple Valley, but that's where she was going, and they didn't call it. So it was a nice move, and the best thing was she finished. So, and a good inlet. Oh, look at this quick pass.
Nicely done. Moore might have had a contested 6-footer, and instead she finds Skylar for the 2-footer, and she gets hacked.
Yeah, John, I would agree with you. Here you'll see it again. Perkins over the head pass, and
the double team came more quickly on that, and she found Skylar, who was wide open.
Yeah, the best part about that was Moore kept her head up and found Skylar asking for the ball down low. They really have worked well together, and I think Tim has coined them the M&Ms.
Well, it's a Twin Towers setup, and we talked about the Twin Towers in the past. Late 80s, you had Sampson and Olajuwon with the Rockets. Yeah, Jim Peterson got some time, but not a lot. But, Sampson and Olajuwon are out here right now.
I agree. Schick and Jansky, and, and actually it reminds me a little bit of the Orioles. Here's Nagorski, who misses her second.
Pinkerton and Peterson, or is that what you're thinking, P&P?
They, it's interesting. They used to do the high, the high-low pass. It would go to the elbow and then a quick cutter on the baseline.
And nice finish by Louiselle again. Yeah. I think she's got 8 or 9 on the nade now.
If they can figure out a way to stop her. AP was wide open, but she looked for Elise Moore, and now we've got Caitlin at the top of the key. So very good patience. I think that Tim has asked the girls to really think it over. Now they're just looking to pound it down. And Elise Moore again, and Skylar can't hang on.
Distribution by the freshman that time again, and she did the reach-around, wrap-around pass that time to Skylar. And even though it kicks off her hand, that's as a 9th grader, that's nice to see. If you're Coach Senchen over there, she's got a good head for the game.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see between Skylar and Abby if they have all of those little baseliners. They probably each would have about 14 points tonight. And AP, they didn't call a foul there.
Look at
Audie's going to get called.
Just a harassment job that time by Audie. Good for her.
Yeah, they call her Chaos. She just is out there creating havoc and.
Well, and she'll be doing a lot of creating havoc on the softball field this year with. I'm sorry. With Lauren Resnick and the whole crew. A lot of girls play softball out there as well.
Yeah,
on the track team.
She's played for a couple years. I don't know if she's going to come back out again this year, but I know they could use her. She's she's a good nice. Skylar with the rebound, but then she steps out of bounds.
Well, good hustle again by Skylar. And here comes the orange wave as the black wave will momentarily take a little break here. 5 in, 5 out if you just joined us. That's the new Senchen strategy, and it seems to be paying dividends the last couple weeks.
Yeah, if they can maintain here, they're going to be 3-1 with this new style.
In the last 4 games, and of course the only notch on the wall, so to speak, was the vanilla game, which is understandable. So,
well, there's Olsen who kind of gives a little elbow there, and Abby's got her 5th rebound of the night. Now Henderson, and they had it. There we go. That's Schultz, who's going to go over to Resnick. And a nice pass into Olsen. That is the play.
Boy, those two, I don't know, do they have a room together in your house? Nice steal by Lauren that time, too. She stepped up and harassed her. Yeah, to me, the unselfish plays are what you just love to see. Here's the entry again.
And
boom.
a beautiful. And that time she bounced it, so Abby didn't have to bend down to pick it up.
Yeah.
She came right up to her waist and made it very easy.
And the ball was out of her right hand almost at the moment she received the pass. There was no hesitation. She knew ahead of time what she was going to do with it,
So
she's
beautiful.
a girl that, a lot of these girls played a lot of AAU with that Minnesota Hustle program. I know that's really an acclaimed program for a lot of St. Louis Park players are playing with the Minnesota Hustle. Is it mnhustle.com?
.com,
But I know they have a lot of spring and fall programs, and that seems to be working well.
Here comes Resnick on the base. And it gets tipped out by Brilski. And
that helps a lot. A lot of these girls are playing basketball year-round. Nice job by Louiselle that time on the drive.
Tipped out, and it's going to stay here with the Tri-Hawks. So some good combinations tonight, as you mentioned. I think Abby now has...
What does she have, about 15 points on?
She's got 16
does
points.
She?
And
wow.
14. And of those, I think Resnick's got 6 assists. So
they're all from 2 feet, let alone 4 inbounds plays.
So I think Abby should be sending Lauren a check at some point in the mail.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Valentine's Day is only a couple days away.
There
and
you go. Chocolate is good.
That's right.
Resnick looking inside. Olsen's trying to seal. Here comes Resnick on the base. And Brilski looks like she tipped it off of Lauren, and it's going to goes back to the Tri-Hawks.
6:19 remaining in the second stanza here at the Oriole Fieldhouse. Do we actually have an official name for the gym here? Is it Oriole Fieldhouse? Because I call the other gyms the Fieldhouse. But
and I'm not sure if that's the Fieldhouse or the Activity Center. I think they refer to this as the old gym.
Yeah.
You've got the old barn and the old gym. And
we need to get a renaming. I'm thinking about Schmidt Center, maybe, in relation to Augie Schmidt. Maybe.
I think you'd have to go back to Lloyd Home. Because Lloyd
Home. Outside Resnick.
I think, didn't Lloyd Home win a state tournament?
62, and he won one at 47 at Denfeld. These were the only guys that won in 2 different schools.
And I'm old enough to, he actually coached me at the junior high level. And,
did he? At Westwood?
Yep, and none of us knew what he had even done, until we got to the high school. So.
And he only died like 6-8 years ago in his mid-90s. Did I tell you I ran into Clifford Bombeck's daughter, Mary? Cliff's still 95, an old gym teacher here.
Is he still working over at Hopkins? One of them was working at Lindbergh, I thought. I don't. We've got a timeout on the action on the floor here. It looks like Louiselle might have rolled. Oh, she landed on her foot there. And we're good. Do we have a replay on this?
Well, she sure toughened it out.
Here we go. Here's the replay. So Paul and his crack staff. Let's see how she did. She rolled it right. It looked like she might have rolled it. Oh, there it is. Ow.
Oh, boy, I don't know. And I'm a heavier man, so if that happened to me, I'd be down for weeks.
Oh, man. Snap me like a chicken wing. But apparently it wasn't bad enough for
she's
Louiselle to knock down.
When you go to school on the ridge, you're tough, obviously.
Boy, tough as nails. She eats nails for breakfast. So she knocks down her first, and that closes. And another nice one. So the ankle must not be too bad. I noticed she's wearing a kind of a mid-top. It's a 3/4. Now she's hobbling off, so maybe it's worse than we thought.
Get some ice on that. The training staff right to her, attending to every need she has over there.
Yeah, we've got a crack staff here. Orioles are up 38-24 with 5 minutes and 50 seconds left. And now the offense has slowed down a little bit. Let's see if they can get it back. Here's AP from the corner. She lines up a 3.
Beautiful. She squared up the trifecta. 41-24. Love to see that set shot. That reminded me of Whitey Skoog in the old Minneapolis Laker days, to date myself a little bit.
Set shot Buford in the Fish That Saved Pittsburgh. Do you remember that with Dr. J?
Oh, I love that show from '79.
It's a classic.
I remember thinking after that movie, why do we not have the NBA in Pittsburgh?
I love that show.
What was that
The
other?
Mighty Pisces, they
the
were,
Pisces,
right?
yeah. The
oh,
fish.
there's a travel.
All the February birthdays. And now, Mike, you're not a Pisces, are you?
I am a Pisces.
Oh, so that really identified with you, then, that
I
movie.
loved it. I thought it was about me at one point. Because, John, at the end of the day, it's all about me. Well, so you've got, I'm looking over on the side. Louis L. is trying to walk off her injury, and the trainers kind of work her out.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, the play is in. So Addie Mae is in the corner. She picks her dribble up, and that's Caitlin Ederer. Caitlin over to Autumn Ballesteros, who gets trapped. And back out to Caitlin. Caitlin to Addie Mae.
Neal is really harassing Moore, and then she's shifting back and forth on the 2-3 between Nagorski and Moore, and there she's pushing her right down low on the block there. 14 for the Ridgers.
Oh, and then she finds Nagorski. That's Autumn, and Skylar can't hang on to the ball. I don't know what's going on with that ball tonight, but we have had some serious butter going on.
Yeah, it's a miss today. If in case you missed it, it's a Mr. Butterworth's night here at the ballpark. So, or not at the ballpark. I'm losing my mind. So, back to live
John,
action.
you do so many games.
I don't know what sport is this.
Yeah. So Nagorski makes it from Addie Mae Perkins, who gets her first assist of the night. And then Caitlin Ederer with the steal, and she kicks it out to Addie Mae, and she missed Autumn.
Audie was ready to take off from the foul line.
So that was a nice set. There's Elise Moore.
She's awesome with that left hand, boy. She's a natural lefty, isn't she?
She is. I didn't see. Did you see who passed it to her?
I did not. I'm sorry.
Away.
I was a look away.
Oh, there's a travel. Yep.
And so nicely done, and that'll extend the lead back to 21, and it's pretty much all she wrote. But look at that. Even down by 21, Louiselle working off that sprained ankle. Here's the entry pass. Yep. Well, that's on the play before.
Skylar has about 10 inches on that girl. And
one of the best names in high school basketball ever. Skylar Nagorski.
They call her Sky Ski, actually, on the in the locker room. There's
Sky Ski?
Sky Ski.
I had a teacher in 6th grade at Aquila Elementary, Mrs. Sky. Summer Sky.
Oh,
Summer was her first name. I think she had another child named Autumn as well.
Do you think her parents were part of the 70s rebellion? Were they part of the movement?
I think they were definitely at Woodstock in '69.
Right. Well, who wasn't at Woodstock in '69?
You really get a lot of misinformation when you watch our games.
Oh,
nice left-hand drop move that time, and she goes high. She goes off the glass and finishes with the left hand again. Nice job, Skylar.
So Tim is going down to the bench. It looks like he's going to be bringing in a new set of 5.
Good. I mean, he's got a 23-point bulge, and he's going to empty the bench here, and why not? There's only 3:52 remaining, and
so it looks to me, if we go down, it's going to be Carly Donald.
Nice.
It'll be, go ahead, you have the replay?
Yeah, another nice entry pass that time, and Skylar, well, it was just a replay of Skylar finishing there. Hey, if you want to get a copy of the game today, we haven't talked about that. You want to get a copy of this game or watch replays, go to ParkTV.org. That's ParkTV.org. Paulie hopefully has that graphic package lined up. He's always so spot on with it. There it is.
Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom.
And that is Paul's direct number, the director. Paul, if you ever want to give him any feedback about the announcing staff or the quality of the camera work, please give him a call. Also, the on-demand library is just unbelievable. I think there's 300 practically sporting events as well as different activities on there. So you don't have to have cable to watch the replays of all these games. Friday night, Paul, I think we're going to be live against Achiever Academy. I'm calling it the game of the century. I'm calling it guaranteed. I think we're going to be live at the Rec Center. And go to Park TV to see other events that Paul is going to cover, and we'll try to be there as often as we can.
3:52 left. Orioles 47, Tri-Hawks 24, and now we've got Carly Donald is in the game. We've got Rachel Welke, who's a senior. We've got senior captain Michaela Ebert, who gets the rebound.
Oh, one of the captains, Michaela. Good.
And then this is Stephanie Reuter. She's a 9th grader.
Okay, good.
She dribbles to the corner. She gets trapped quickly, and she does the step-through move. Nice to free herself. Carly Donald. Carly over to Rachel Welke. She's the lefty.
Nice to see these girls getting some action.
Stephanie over to Carly. Carly at top of the key. That's Rachel Welke. She's got a little bit of a bad wheel. She's dealing it over. There's Stephanie Reuter. Stephanie, into Elizabeth. And Carly gets the rebound, and she gets another rebound. Oh, that was beautiful. So that was Elizabeth Matzdorf. And, and a nice bounce pass by Louiselle.
Good rebound.
Rachel Welke.
Yeah, good rebound again that time by Rachel, the senior. Nice to see some of these young ladies getting some varsity action. I know they haven't seen a lot this year, How's the JV been doing for the Orioles this season?
You know, they've been playing really well. They've actually, this is probably one of the more talented JV teams Park has had in a while. Last 2 years ago, they were really solid. Last year, they were okay, and this year, they've really got some nice talent. They've, you know, Park, I think, had 27 kids in the program starting last year, and they were up to 42 this year. 40,
That's a 50. We talked about that the first game. That's a 50% growth in numbers just at the high school level.
And you and I both know, compare yourself to some of the other programs. Anytime you have the good program, it's all about numbers, because then you can have multiple kids in multiple positions, and it really forces. Now we've got the bonus. Are they calling a foul here on? Who did they call it?
Oh, was that Ennis or is that Lewis L. walking to the bench? She's going over. Oh, Lewis L's getting some ice for her.
Yeah.
This is smart. She's really getting, you know, there's no reason. They're down 23. Let the trainer slap that ice on. Let's get that swelling down.
Maybe you can help me here, though. I'm not quite sure what she's.
A bench.
Oh.
Illegal substitution. Well, usually you don't want to run out onto the court during the middle of the action. I don't know what happened, but
did we see who? Stark misses the first. Did we see who did it? I don't know
if Paulie and his crack crew.
So for those of you at home, there was an illegal substitution called on Oriole bench. We're not sure who it is because it's the same group of 5 that were out there before. So someone must have run out, or I guess it's all speculation without the replay.
Well, there is just under 3 minutes remaining anyway, so it's all, nice harassment. I'd love to see Elizabeth Matzdorf on. She's just barking some language out there, the junior.
Yeah, Elizabeth just moved to Park this year. Here's Stark from the long 3. Oh, and she makes another one. So Stark has been lighting it up tonight for the Tri-Hawks. And that closes the gap, 28-47. Here comes Carly Donald. Carly pushing it over the timeline. Good crossover. Look at Carly go. And then she's harassed by Stark.
Yeah, great family, that Donald family. Of course, Grant just graduated last year, and Bill and Denise, longtime St. Louis Park grads themselves.
Carly's an excellent singer. She's actually sang the national anthem here twice.
That's right. Oh, I saw that in one game.
And now we've got a timeout for the Orioles. So 2 minutes, 26 seconds left. St. Louis Park 47, the Tri-Hawks 28, and Orioles with 10 fouls, and the Tri-Hawks with 6 for the second half.
Hey, Mike, let's just kind of go over some of the things going on at St. Louis Park this week in terms of sporting events. You mentioned tomorrow the Oriole girls team on the road. They take the traveling road show to Irondale, which is in New Brighton. Make your way up there, JV 5:45, varsity 7:15, if you're watching this game on Wednesday, the 29th. Then on Thursday, the boys hockey team is home, JV 5, varsity at 7, and I believe also you got the boys basketball game. The date got changed back again. I think they're playing Benilde on Thursday for B squad and JV, and Friday they're playing the boys. So, and of course, girls got another game on Saturday against Blake here, and another hockey game for the boys on Friday night. So go to nsconference.org. I'll just say that again, nsconference.org. If you want to follow all the JV varsity schedules, all the spring schedules are pretty much done too for the conference. So it's a great way to find out if you know somebody who's on a JV team. And we encourage you always to come early, because that's the next wave of players that'll be playing for the varsity. And we got a momentary break here, and here again is Neil to shoot the foul shot.
Nice shot. So this is Neil's first time to the line tonight, I believe. And now we've got a substitution. Is going to be number 11 is, I believe, she's been in the game though, but that's Ennis, and she replaces 22 is Stark.
No relation to Terry St. Dennis.
No, not even close. But and there's that's Carly with the rebound. She kicks it out to Stephanie, and Reuter goes in, and she tries to make the left. Are they going to get her with the foul? Yes, shooting 2.
Nice job.
A big rebound by Carly Donald, who records her 3rd rebound of the night. 2 of those were offensive.
Oh, that's great to see. And still 2:10 remaining here.
Yep, 2:10, and Coach Buchanan's pulling over the whole squad. No, he can't do that. This is not a timeout. So they need at least 2 in the box.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know if I had ever seen that before. 4 out of the 5.
They look typically at the end of the game. And Reuter hits her first. That's her first points of the varsity points. So good for her.
That's great. That's wonderful to see.
Steph shooting the second to 2. Oh, she missed that one. But, good for her. She's on the board.
Yeah.
And so got her first varsity minutes, got her first varsity point. And now that we've hit the 2-minute mark. That's Friends, and she's traveling, and they're gonna get Elizabeth on that.
Elizabeth is really harass her. I'll tell you, she's really all over her. She's not gonna let her have a moment to rest that time.
I believe Elizabeth came in from Nebraska. Don't quote me on that, but
so she's got Cornhusker background.
She does, but I think she moved here for the weather. What do you think?
How can you blame her? We don't get quite the winds they do in Nebraska. We have a little more hills. I told you about how hard it was to get home from Brookings on Sunday.
I saw your pictures on Facebook.
Our car went off the road. We literally were in one of those situations you dread. We turned, and the car went into a snowbank because there was so much snow piled up on part of the road.
Sure, yeah.
So we lost control, couldn't get out, and instead Nancy was kind of panicked. And I said, we're just going to wait here, even though we're on the side of a highway. It was 60 to 70 mile an hour winds down that way.
Sure.
And finally, a guy came by in a truck, and thank goodness he was willing to get out, and we were able to push it out. But it took so long just to get out of Southwest Minnesota.
Well, and for those of you that have been in that area, it's not uncommon for them to close those roads on the wind. There's nothing blocking the wind.
No.
And so when you get those drifts, you're really stuck. I know in my travels, I do a lot of the 94 from, towards Fergus Falls. And actually the Park Orioles played in a Fergus Falls tournament over the winter break. And we came home in one of those crazy blizzards, and we were all trying to, beat the band to get out of there because we didn't want to get stuck. And fortunately, everybody made it out, unscathed. But we're back here at action.
Yeah,
glad to have you safe at home, John and Nancy. And I know it must have been a treat for you to get out there and spend some time with Ryan out at in college.
Well, thanks. And I know you've got Jonah moving on to college next year, too, and that's exciting to have a senior and junior out here this year. So special memories.
Absolutely. So 48-30 here, 1 minute, 50 seconds left. Michaela Ebert, she tries to get it over to Steph Reuter. She finds Carly Donald, who's going to go up strong. And there is Elizabeth makes the basket.
So Carly couldn't finish it, but nice try. But Elizabeth knocks it home, and boy, the fans are erupting. Love to see some of the girls. They practice as hard as anybody out there.
The bench is up, and they're going nuts. Oh, and there's a long shot. That was by, I believe, was that Breisky?
Yeah.
24? Brilski.
23, excuse me. Yep, that was. And there's the finish on the rebound. Look at how excited she is.
That is awesome. Look at the smile on her face.
Carly is just as happy for her.
Steph came over, too. Look at that smile. That's great.
That's a memory. Janice and Bill Donald will have to share that memory with her family as well, too.
So here comes Carly bringing it over the timeline. I think they're going to get her for travel. Yep. But good idea, trying to push it up and set the offense. So a minute 25, Orioles up 50-30. And this is a new player, number 21 now. That's Olsen.
Wow.
Oh, and a big rebound.
There's 13 with a left
25
hand.
is Bromschwig, and then Carly Donald rips it through, and they're going to get a jump ball. That's going to stay here with the Tri-Hawks. So we got a couple substitutions now. We've got Bromschwig is in, and Heidi Johnson is in. And this is Ennis who's throwing it in.
They don't have the easiest set of names to pronounce on the River Ridges.
We apologize to the Tri-Hawk friends and family if we've botched up any of the names. We're doing our best here for what our pay scale is.
It's fairly limited, the pay scale.
We need more sponsors like Sol Superette and Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips.
Tom Thumb, New York, New York bagels. I miss New York bagels.
Yeah, right? I do too. Scotty Kamsala, he made a mean bagel.
Well, I think Paul in the truck's wondering what the heck is he bought into today with this broadcast. But here's Ennis again. She's still in the game. But Carly, nice job defensively holding her off.
That should have been a travel.
Sweet
it is a
Carly,
travel.
The inadvertent trip, and it causes Ennis to get the travel.
Yeah, I think she tried to step over, and she just caught the top of Carly's.
I think Carly,
Nike, the hyper dunks.
I think Carly tried to give her the step over toe hold and take her to the mat.
Well, Wally Carbo was here earlier, so I'm not sure if they stay by. Stephanie gets stripped, and then she goes to the floor. She gets it back, and there's a jump ball in favor of the Orioles. So 40 seconds, that's 4-0 left on the clock. Orioles up by 20, and Carly Donald is throwing it in.
Just wonderful to see a lot of these young ladies who work so hard in practice get the effort and recognition and get some game time.
Gets it over to Rachel Welke, who finds senior captain Michaela. Here comes Carly on the drive.
Oh, what a finish by
beautiful
Donald, and that's got to be a
play.
season highlight. She beats the double team, goes strong with the right hand. That was all of Bill Donald from 1989.
And Coach Senshin's got a smile on his face. And a good block by Rachel Welke.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a long season when things happen, and I know there was some frustration in December with how things are going, but what a nice run here.
There's a beautiful shot of Carly with that layup, and look at her smile.
Look at all the smiles, yeah.
Look at her go. That is priceless. All right, here we go. Rachel Welke, and she drops it back to Michaela Ebert. Michaela coming up with the left hand. You'll notice she's got tape on that wrist. It's been sore. Oh, and she finds Carly underneath again. And
Yay! Another juice for Carly Donald, and that'll finish it off here. Wow.
3 seconds left.
Stick with the camera here. I'll tell you, you're going to see some excited girls as Carly Donald racks her first 4 varsity points in the last 30 seconds of the game.
So a beautiful finish there. Here you go. You can see Carly split it through, and she comes right in over the top. Swish. 54-30.
I just love the way every single person is smiling too. You know what I mean? It's wonderful.
It's amazing what winning does to a program, John, and it really does. Oh, and there's the girls. You can see the girls are going over to shake poor Hannah's hand. She's got her ankle taped up with some ice over there. Good sportsmanship all around. And a fun night here, John. I want to thank you. I know that you do so many games and give so many nights. Want to thank Paul and his crack staff. Lauren and
Benny.
Ben.
Oh, Ben. Yeah, Benny and the Jets over there on camera one. I tell you, he's one of the best in the industry, I think, at the work that he's done. There was some really good close-up work in this game, though, and Paul in the truck does a great job with the replays. And I don't know if people realize that, this is one of the only city-sponsored cable stations that has invested in the high-def cameras like this. So you're watching these broadcasts and these replays in high def, and you're just taking it for granted. Well, where I live, Channel 12, it might have 1 game a year on for your team, and they don't even have high-def cameras. So really a great resource. There you see a nice shot of Mike on your left. He's the thin one who's, well-endowed follically with a lot of hair. I've got the hat on. I'm John. But yeah, we'll be with you again on Friday night here at Park 16. If you do want to get a copy of this game, Mike, should we put up the graphic and tell them how to buy a copy?
Put up the graphic, and then Paul, what is our next event on cable? Did you say
it's going to be
this weekend?
Yeah, this Friday. We're going to take the show to the rec center. We're going to be live Friday night as it. Oh, you've got Park Benilde boys basketball because of the change in date. So is that a Bruce Hoberman production? Bruce Hoberman will be on the call this Thursday, Park Benilde boys hoops. The boys haven't recorded a win this year, but hopefully they have been playing a lot more competitive and aggressively, I've noticed.
There's been a few, they've had a few closer games, but unfortunately the Orioles just haven't been able to, Oriole boys haven't been able to put it together like the girls. The girls, you can see, are on a nice little roll here. Their last 4 games now, they're 3-1. In their last 4 games, and they'll test it out against the Knights on Wednesday tomorrow, and then hopefully they can do some damage against Blake. So really a nice production. Want to thank everybody again. John, I thank you and the team. Once again, their final score?
54-30 Orioles. And Mike, it's been just my pleasure. Thank you from all the staff here at Park 16.
Thank you, John. Have a good night.
Drive home safely. Oh, wait a minute, you're watching it.